Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking in with me today. My name is Corey Muller and I am the CEO of Corey Muller Fitness, and I'm the leader of a team of individuals who use social media to grow their businesses. I wanted to talk today and give you guys a few tips and tricks on how to use social media most efficiently, how to reach the most people, grow your network, and therefore grow your business. There are a ton of different social media platforms that you can use when growing your business. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. I highly recommend that you only focus on two platforms when you first start using social media. The reason being that is it's very easy to spread yourself too thin, and you want to make sure that you really are able to learn the platform and use it most efficiently to capture your audiences. And by focusing on too many things at once, you're never really diving into things. So I would focus on two platforms, and then once you feel like you have captured that audience and you have learned enough to integrate a third platform, then you certainly can. This training today is going to focus on Facebook and Instagram, which are the two platforms that I use most often. If you have a different platform that you're trying to focus on, I highly recommend you searching for other trainings, only so that you can get the best information that's going to be the most useful to you. But if Facebook and Instagram are the platforms of your choice, I am excited to share some things with you. Let's first focus on Facebook. Facebook is a tremendous platform when growing a business on social media because of the amount of people that are on Facebook each and every day. It's a fantastic way to not only reach your audience, but to grow your audience and your network. I have some notes here that I'm going to be referencing, so bear with me. I want to make sure that I do this in a way that's time efficient for you, because I know that you're all busy, but also I don't want to leave anything out. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is how frequently you should be posting on Facebook. I recommend posting between 3 and 5 times a day. I know if you're just starting out with your business, that might seem like a lot, and you might be worried about oversaturation and that you're going to be too vocal for your audience and for your network. But there are statistics that show that only 7% of your network see any given post. Meaning, if you were to post something on Facebook right now, only about 7% of your audience is going to be seeing it. So, oversaturation is really not an issue if you follow these steps and if you post properly. So not only are such few people seeing each post, but as long as you're providing value and you're sharing something worthwhile to them, you never have to worry about oversaturation, because you're providing them with information that they are looking for. They are following you on your journey for a reason, and as long as there's the value, as long as you're educating, motivating, or inspiring them to work on themselves and on their journey, you shouldn't have to worry about oversaturation. Now, in posting 3 to 5 times a day, there are certain times of day where traffic is much higher and the engagement is much greater on Facebook. That is early morning and later evening. So 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. are the times of day currently that are the most traffic hit on Facebook. So this is when you're going to want to make sure that you're sharing your most valuable posts. You want to save the information that you want to share where you're hoping to reach as many people as possible for these times of day. So what I do is my 7 a.m. post and my 9 p.m. post are business related. It's where I want to share value. It's where I want to reach people. I want to connect with new people. Throughout the day, I scatter in, yes, some more valuable posts, but I also scatter in some posts about who I am. And the reason is we don't want to come across as an advertisement. We don't want to come across as someone that is only repping our brand. If your page is a business page and your focus is purely business, then yes, by all means, every post should be business related, and you do not want to be posting things on that page that are not, because you're going to lose your audience. But if this is a personal page, you want to make sure that you have a good blend and a good balance of business and fun, and a little bit more lighthearted things. For example, I am a fur mom, so I will post about my dog very frequently. I'm a nanny, so I'll post about my life as a nanny and the kids that I nanny for. I love to be outdoors, so I'll post about my hikes, and I keep it genuine and authentic so that people can relate to me and people realize that I am a real person behind my business. That being said, I want to be making sure that when I am posting about my business, people are going to see it, people are going to relate to it, and people are going to want to know more. So again, I keep those business specific posts to 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. I may scatter some more throughout the day just to keep relevant and keep on top of mind, but I want to make sure that the valuable posts are going to be saved for those 2 hours. Now, another reason why you want to be posting 3 to 5 times a day is that Facebook, there's so many people posting that it is going to filter your posts very quickly down, which is how they get that 7% statistic. So there are so many people posting that your posts easily get lost. And you want to make sure that the people you're trying to reach have you top of mind. If there is someone out there, for example, I'm a health coach, if there is someone out there that is looking to get healthy, you want them to associate you with someone that's going to be able to help them. So if you're not posting enough about your business and your service and what you can do to help people, they're not going to necessarily know to come to you. And if they don't know to come to you, they may go to someone else. They may go to another business. So make sure you're posting frequently enough that you're reaching as many people as possible. You do want to keep it authentic and genuine by posting about other things in your life because your job is not your identity. But with that being said, you want to be conscious that you are scattering in posts about how you can help service that person. I like to call my 9 p.m. Posts a scroll stopper, and that is because at 9 p.m. as people are laying in bed or they're sitting on the couch watching TV and they're scrolling through Facebook, I want my post to be something that stops them from scrolling. So here are a few tips and tricks to make sure that your post is eye-catching enough for them to not only stop scrolling, but to also read it. First, we're going to talk about our image. When you post anything on Facebook, with the way Facebook algorithms work, if there is a picture or a video with the text, it is going to be seen by more people. So always try to include either an image or a video. Your image and your video, for that matter, you want to make sure they're crisp and clean. You want to make sure that you have good lighting. If your picture is too dark and they can't tell what's going on, it's not going to catch their eye and they're going to continue scrolling. The very first thing that our eyes see are images. So if you want them to read your text, you need to make sure that your image is professional looking. You want the lighting to be good. There are a couple different apps out there that I use for video and picture editing that help with a picture pop. You want to make sure that your colors are bright and the lighting, again, is not too dark. So there are apps that allow you to edit that within your picture or within your video. When it comes to video, I use Video Shop and iMovie. Those are my two main video editing resources. It allows you to change the lighting. You can string multiple clips together. You can mute them, add different sounds. You can add text, speed them up, trim them, and it really puts together a very professional product or end result. And that's what you're aiming for. You want to make sure that your videos aren't too jumbled, aren't too sporadic. You don't want there to be too much of a lapse from where you press play on the video and then you get ready and set up and then you begin sharing your content, because people won't sit through that little lapse. So these apps will allow you to cut that out so that the second someone presses play on their video, they're seeing the content that you want them to see. When it comes to pictures, I love the app Moldiv, Moldiv. I also love Rhona, Rhonna. These two apps will allow you to add filters so that you can make your colors pop. It'll allow you to brighten or darken your picture so that it's more visually attractive, and you can add text. In doing so, when you add text, make sure that you don't add too much text. A, you don't want to take away from the picture and the image itself. But B, the more words that you have on the picture, the less likely they're going to read the text of the post, which is where the real value is. So I recommend, and what I do personally, is I try to pick a fantastic image. I edit it so that the lighting's proper, colors pop, and I add no words. If I choose to add text, it's only 2, 3, 4, enough to catch their eye, but not enough to take away from the time that they give to reading the text. When it comes to the text itself, you want to make sure that you're providing value. If you're not providing value, you're doing a disservice to your business and a disservice to the people you're trying to reach. Because if they come to you and they're looking for material and you're not providing it, they're going to go to someone else, or they're going to stop coming to you at all, which is the opposite of what we're trying to take on here. So you want to make sure that the very first sentence or the very first few words are something that is going to capture their attention and make them want to read more. The amount of time that someone gives to a post is usually a second or two. So if you don't capture their attention in that first second, they're going to keep scrolling. They're not going to read your post. So how do we do this? People are going to read and invest time in things that they can relate to. For example, in moving forward with this example, I'm a health coach, so I'm going to be working within that industry in giving this example, but people want to relate to me. And the way that they do that is by me sharing and getting very real and getting very vulnerable, which can be very hard when you first start, because putting yourself out there and sharing things that you used to hide from the world, now putting it out there in the world, can be a little nerve-wracking. So I'm going to give you a little easy kind of step-by-step guide on how to identify a vulnerability and properly share it so that you feel safe and secure, but you're also opening yourself up to the person you're trying to reach. The first thing you want to do is you want to identify a problem, or identify a time in your life where you were unhappy and you were insecure. For example, you could say, I remember a time when I would look in the mirror while getting dressed and I would pull and I would tug at my clothing, hoping to stretch it out because I was so uncomfortable in my own skin, I just wanted to hide my flaws. That's an extremely vulnerable and relatable problem. A lot of women especially struggle with body image, and that's something that hopefully people in our industry can help them overcome. But the people I'm trying to reach, they're not relating to me now where I'm confident in my own skin. That's their end goal, but that's not who they're relating to because they're not in that place in their life. So by identifying that problem and sharing it and stating it, you're not only going to capture their attention and make them want to continue reading, but you're going to relate to them and they're going to want to hear your story. They're going to want to know how you went from that girl who looked at herself in the mirror with dread to the girl that feels confident in her bathing suit and when she's, at the beach. They're going to want to know how you got from point A to point B. So you want to first identify your problem. Second, you want to say how it made you feel. Again, very relatable. Third, you're going to let them know what you found, what you did, what system started working for you so that you could overcome that feeling. Then you want to tell them what your life looks like now and what the future holds for you. So for example, I hated looking at myself in the mirror because I immediately saw my flaws and I didn't feel comfortable in my body. I didn't feel comfortable in the clothes that I owned. So I would pull and stretch them out to try and hide my imperfections. This made me feel embarrassed. It made me feel unloved. It made me feel like I had no value and self-worth. I have since found a system that works for me. I now focus on healthy eating. I live an 80-20 lifestyle. I don't deprive my body, but I found a way to properly portion my foods, and I found a community of women that help me with recipes and meal plans, and we all cheer each other on and do at-home workouts. And I now feel comfortable in my skin. I'm now excited to get ready to go out with my friends because I'm excited to put on an outfit and feel great about myself when I look in the mirror. And I no longer avoid mirrors. That's really raw. And it's going to hit home and tug at the heartstrings of the people that are going through that right now, who are the people who you can help. And you can help get them their confidence back and their sense of self-worth and their value, which is so powerful. So if you pair a bold, raw, vulnerable post where you break it down in those steps by identifying a problem, stating how it made you feel, showing your solution, now how does it feel and how the future looks, followed by a call to action. If you feel this way, if you can relate, reach out so I can help you. That paired with an image is a scroll stopper. That's not only going to stop people from scrolling through their feed, it's going to get them to read it, it's going to get them to relate to it, it's going to get them to want to know more about you. They may not comment, they may not even like it at first, but you're on their radar, you're in the top of their mind, and they're going to be watching your journey. And that's the start of your relationship with them. That is where the credibility and the trust and that relationship starts to build. So that when that person is ready to make a change, they know to come to you because they've been following your journey and they know that it was hard for you too. And they know that you experienced some of the same things that they're experiencing and gone through the same feelings that they've gone through. And what you've done has worked. So keep that in mind when you're putting together your value posts. Again, what is value? You want to make sure you're educating, motivating, inspiring, and not just posting to make sure that you post 3 to 5 times a day. In my opinion, if my post isn't going to provide value of some sort, I'd rather not post at all. Because the last thing I want is for people to feel that I'm inconsistent in what I'm sharing with them. Now, if you are posting in a means of promoting an event or a group, if you're running maybe a clean eating group and you want to promote it, one thing I want to make clear and share, because this is something that I did not know until recently, but if you include the link to that group in the text of your post, Facebook's going to bury it. They don't want you to be taking your audience away from Facebook. If it's a Facebook group, they're a little bit more lenient, but if you're going to be taking them to a landing page or you're going to be taking them off-site of Facebook, Facebook realizes that and they will bury it. So very few people will see that post. So a way to get around this is to write your post as necessary, use your great image, post it, then in the comments below, post the link to where you want them to go. So when I do this, I'll say in my post, that last sentence, that call to action, I'll say, my group is starting Monday, or if you are interested in learning more, check out the link posted in the comments below. That way they know immediately to look down there, and then that comment is there and ready to go. That link is ready to go, and it'll take them right where you're hoping to direct them to. There is a way to resurrect your posts. This is something very valuable when it comes to reaching as many people as possible, especially when you're sharing those vulnerable posts or a promotion post. And there's a couple different ways to resurrect. And when I say resurrect, I mean if you post something on Monday and today's Wednesday, that post has clearly been filtered down to the bottom. People aren't seeing it anymore because of how many other posts are coming in from other users. So resurrecting is a way to get that same original post back on people's news feeds. So in order to do this, there's a couple different ways. The first one is tagging. If you post a picture of yourself and it's a valuable post, you want to get a lot of traction, do not tag yourself. Do not tag the other people in the group, because simply by you posting that, it's going to be in people's news feeds. Well, maybe 24 hours later, you can tag yourself. It'll bring it back into people's news feeds. Maybe a day later, you'll tag your friend who's also in the picture. Again, it'll bring it up to people's news feeds. So by simply doing that, tagging yourself and a friend, that's 3 times that your post, that original post, has been brought to the top of people's news feeds. New chances for new eyes to get onto that post. Every time someone likes your post, it's going to resurrect it, because it's going to show in their friends' news feeds that so-and-so is supporting this post. Another way is comments. When we post something and we start to get some comments, we start to get some traction, it's super exciting. We want to immediately respond to those comments because we're excited. Someone read our post, someone related to it, and they wanted more information. Or they wanted to tell us how proud they are, or congratulate us. And we get excited. We want to reward that, and we want to say thank you to them for their support and their appreciation. So we immediately want to comment right away. Don't. Comment later in the day. Even better yet, comment 24 hours later, because every time someone comments on your picture, beep, it resurrects it. So if I post something that has a lot of comments going, I just let it go until people stop commenting it on themselves. Because the more they're commenting on it, that's automatically resurrecting without me having to do anything. And then what I do is I'll go back and I'll respond to a couple comments one day, I'll let another day go by, respond to another couple comments, and you'll notice that when you do this, when you're resurrecting it with tags and comments, that more people are going to continue to like it. That's because more people are seeing it. It's not them going to your Facebook page and scrolling down and finding the post and liking it. It's that it's showing up in their newsfeed again. So, as hard as it is to not tag yourself and not respond to comments, do your best to hold back. It'll pay off in the end. Also, keep in mind that a lot of times Facebook will automatically tag, but before you post it, you can actually go in and take out the tags. So keep that in mind as well. Finally, in the Facebook portion of this training, how do we use these great posts to start conversations? Yes, these posts are getting us on people's radar, getting them to associate us. It's helping with brand recognition. But what we really want is valuable conversations to start, because a conversation is what leads to a relationship with these people. It's what leads to networking. It's another chance for you to offer them your help, learn about them, learn about their goals. So, you have a great post. You get a ton of traction. You get a couple likes or a couple comments. You get a ton of likes. What do you do next? What I do, and I always try to do this within 48 hours of the post, because you don't want to do this and the person not have a recollection of what you're speaking of. But what I'll do is I'll go through everyone that commented, and I'll reach out, I'll privately message them and thank them for the support on my post. Even if they didn't ask for more information, I'll just reach out and say, hey, I saw your comment on my post. Maybe personalize it by, relating to their comment what they said, and thank them for their support. I also do this with everyone that likes it. Every single person that likes that valuable post, I will privately message and say, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. I really appreciate all your support. Sometimes sharing something vulnerable about my past, even though it seems like I do it a lot now and that I'm in a great place, it's still a little nerve-wracking and it's still a little hard. So you showing your support and love by liking my post means the world to me. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Are you working on any health and fitness goals? That right there is starting a conversation. It's showing genuine love and support and your appreciation for them, making them feel great about themselves. And B, it's immediately leading into a chance for you to learn about them and what's going on with their lives. You always want to make sure you end those messages with a question so that you can continue the conversation. I think that wraps up Facebook. Let's move on to Instagram. I have just a few tips here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But when it comes to Instagram, it's a whole new world of reaching out to people. This is rapidly growing when it comes to social media marketing and network marketing because you are able to connect with people that you don't know. While you can do that on Facebook, Facebook is much more intimate, so people are a little bit more wary. They have a few guards up about who's seeing their feeds, who they're accepting as friends. Where on Instagram, it is common practice for you to follow all these accounts of people that you've never met, likely may never meet, and for them to follow you. So, same thing goes as Facebook as far as your posts, with the text and with the image. You want to make sure your image is crisp and clean and pops and is super visually attractive. Same thing with your posts. You want to make sure that you're identifying vulnerabilities, providing that step-by-step process of how you found your solution and a call to action. The next thing you want to be focused on is hashtags. Hashtags is a means for you to connect with new people. If you are on Instagram and you are not using hashtags, you might as well not be on Instagram because no one is seeing your posts except for that 7% of people who are following you. So, how many hashtags do you use? How do you use them appropriately? Where do you post them? How do you know what to hashtag? Let's dive in. Instagram allows you to hashtag 30 hashtags per post. So you should be hashtagging 30 hashtags per post. When you add your text to a post, a lot of people make the mistake of including their hashtags right with that text. I recommend not doing that because we want to make sure that you're also looking crisp, clean, and professional. And if someone's reading your text and then they see this huge blob of 30 hashtags, it's not visually attractive. So post your comment or post the text, hit, upload. And then in the comments, this is a great place where you can hashtag everything while it's kind of hidden. So you're going to get the benefits of the hashtag, but you're not going to be getting the harsh look of it. What I do in spacing, when I comment my hashtags, I do 5 dots. So I'll do period, enter, period, enter, period, enter, period, enter. Then all of my hashtags. Again, that way it's just not this huge blurb of links. Who wants to see that? So by just doing those dots, and I do it consistently with every single post, it's just uniform. It's professional. So I recommend doing that. When it comes to what your hashtags should be, I have a rule of thumb that the first 15 hashtags of every single post are the same. And they're hashtags about me, who I am, and my personal brand, regardless of whether those hashtags coincide with the post itself. So, I like to travel. I'm a dog mom. I'm a nanny. Just take those 3 for example. So and I love to work out. So in those 15 hashtags, I'm going to do workout hashtags, travel hashtags, fur mom, puppy mom, dogs of Instagram, and some nanny, ask the nanny. Because those hashtags describe me, describe who I am. I love football, so I might include a football hashtag. But you want to have lots of variety because the more broad those are, as far as topics, the more people that are going to come across your post. And while it might seem strange to include hashtags that don't completely coincide with the post itself, it's extremely valuable because the people that you're trying to reach, your ideal customer, the customer that's going to relate most to you, is going to be someone like you. So fur moms, nannies, girls that love football, girls that love to travel, that woman is my ideal customer. That's someone that I'm going to be able to relate to on so many different fronts. And that it's going to be very easy for me to build a relationship with that person. So those first 15 should be brand specific to who you are and as a person. The second 15 are going to be more specific to the post itself. So if it's a post about food, that second 15 are going to be all about, hashtag healthy recipes, hashtag abs are made in the kitchen, hashtag cooking 101. Things that people who are looking for healthy recipes are going to be hashtagging to find the recipes that people are posting under that hashtag. If it's a workout one, you want to do, sweaty, hashtag sweaty selfie, hashtag girls love cardio, anything that's related to workouts. Same with travel, hashtag wanderlust, hashtag fill my passport, whatever it might be. And what I do as far as time efficiency, because honestly, who has time to put a post up, make sure the image looks great, make sure it's valuable, and then figure out 30 hashtags? No one. So what I do is in the notes of my iPhone, every phone has a notes section, I have hashtags by category. So I'll have food, ... the 30 hashtags. Fitness, ... 30 hashtags. Travel, ... 30 hashtags. Now again, the first 15 hashtags in every category are exactly the same. Those are my brand hashtags. The second 15 are relatable to that topic. That way, when I go in and I post something, all I have to do takes 2 seconds, first 10 minutes, go into my notes, copy and paste, put it in the comments, and move on with my day. Now, there is a little science behind choosing the hashtags that are going to reach the most people. Naturally, we think we want to use the hashtags that are used the most. Hashtag beautiful, hashtag smile, hashtag fitness. Those hashtags are the most used hashtags in Instagram right now, meaning millions and millions and millions of people are using them. So you'd think, great, I want to use them because so many people are using them. False. It's in fact detrimental to the visibility of your post by using those hashtags, because when you put your hashtag up on your post, it's time sensitive. If you put your post up at 7 a.m. and you forget to hashtag and you add all your hashtags at 2 p.m., your post is still going to be buried in those hashtag lists from 7 a.m. So A, you want to make sure you're hashtagging right away so that it's when people look up that hashtag, you're at the top of the list. But you have to keep in mind that if someone's searching hashtag fitness and you want them to see your fitness post, if 3.7 or 9.8 million people are using that, yours will be buried in a matter of seconds. So the amount of people whose eyes are actually seeing your posts are very limited. So how do you find the hashtags that aren't too generic, but also aren't too specific? If only 500 people are using that hashtag, that means rarely anyone's searching that hashtag, which means no one's going to see it either. So you don't want too broad, you don't want too specific. So how do you find a happy medium? If you go into Instagram, on the bottom of the screen, you will see the magnifying glass, the search option. Click that. At the top, go to hashtags. Start typing in hashtags, and it'll show you as you type them how many people use that hashtag. Get creative. So for starters, we'll do hashtag fitness, and I'll say like 9 million, and you're like, holy cow, way too much. So let me start thinking of something that's more specific. How about workout goals? Okay, well that may have dropped it down to 2 million. Still too broad. I like to keep it in between 10,000 and 100,000. It may take some time, take a little research to find hashtags that you feel like fit your personality, fit your brand, fit your topic, that are within that range, but it is worth it because that is guaranteeing that they're going to be seen the most. Now, I still do have a few that are maybe upwards of like 200,000, 300,000 in my lists. But again, you don't want to be going higher than that because it just simply, your posts won't be seen. So the more specific you get with your posts, you're going to see the numbers. So what I did when I created mine is I got out a pen and paper and I did this and I played and I got creative. Hashtag Beyonce is used a lot, but I love Beyonce. So I did hashtag We Run the World. Because, who runs the world? Girls, her song. And that was like within my frame. So I was able to add that to my list. And I created a list. I went through every topic. I did food. I did travel. I did fitness. I did, dogs. I did the music that I like. The places I like to shop. All of that. Created a master list of like 100. And then what I did is I went back, I picked my 15 that I thought were a great broad idea of who I am as a person. And then I went through and I picked out my 15 for my food category, my 15 for my travel category, my 15 for my workout category, and so on. And I saved them all on my phone. And since then, my followers have increased. My posts are getting more likes. The people that are liking my posts are more genuine people, not robots or companies. The comments are more real. Again, you always want to make sure that you are responding to every comment, because the more that comments that your post gets, the more Instagram thinks, oh, this is a post that a lot of people are interested in. This is what people are looking for. We want to provide people with what they're looking for, so they're going to keep showing it to more people. So again, you want to make sure you're commenting on everyone's comments. A general rule of thumb is you want to make sure your response comments at least 3 words. Sometimes if people are posting just an emoji or like cool, Instagram isn't necessarily going to pick up on that as a comment. So you want to make sure that you're adding valuable comments in response to people's things. Again, as far as turning these into conversations, you can click see who liked your post. If I'm in the health and fitness field, I might not reach out to the people who have fitness in their profile because they're likely a health coach themselves. But if it's, Emma Loves Kyle, and I look at their Instagram account and I see that she's a girl a lot like me, I might like a few of her posts, comment on 1 or 2, follow her, and send her a message saying, hey, thank you so much for supporting my post. It means the world to me. How are you? Where do you guys live? I loved your page. Starts conversations. Let's see. I think I covered everything for Instagram. So I know this is a ton of information. Feel free to watch this, share it, rewatch it, take notes, whatever needed. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My email is CoreyMullerFitness@gmail.com, and I will get back to you and hopefully be able to answer some of your questions. If this is posted on my social media, which it likely will be, feel free to comment in the comments or post in the comments below with your questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you so much for checking in with me and taking the time to listen to this training. Hopefully it was valuable to you and you learned a lot. Have a great day, guys. Bye.